Testing, testing, testing. Chat, do you read me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Okay, we're finishing setting up before we go live. Remember, we are performing comedy that you all wrote, okay? But it will be good. So I hope you guys enjoy and sit tight before we start. You guys to make me smaller. So I'm underneath the comedy club, which will be at the top of the screen. Boys, we're just making some minor adjustments. We've never done a vertical live before. Right click and then hit center vertically on the transform. Up. Up. Center vertical. Halfway. Sorry, horizontal I meant. Hello, everybody. As you can see, I've changed, you know. We're getting excited to do this here. That should be good. Horizontal me here. How are we looking? How are we looking? I think it's pretty decent. I will not be doing an oil up stream, okay? Don't ask me that again. Hey.
Jinx might.
He might. Snazzy outfit. Thank you. You know I'm performing for the comedy, so give us just a couple more minutes. We're going to make sure. How does it look on your guys' end? Like I said, never done a vertical with OBS. I always shoot it from my phone. So for some reason we had to downscale. But I think it's looking pretty nice. I think it's looking pretty nice, chat. What you guys crying about, man? What you crying about? Oh boy, time for the disaster. How old am I? Older than you. But younger than him, who's not here. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to go away. I'm going to go away for 1 more minute. Just got to do one thing, and then we're going to get started, okay? Giving a little bit more time for people to join in. Just give me one second. Don't want to be a... Then we're going to get the comedy started. I hope everybody's excited. Because you guys wrote some terrible comedy. Do a flip. I've done that on stream. You can go watch that if you want. All right, I'm going away. I'll be right back, chat. 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. All right. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome in to Skalo's Comedy Club. I hope you guys are excited because we have a full stream planned of some of the best jokes in comedy that you can get here on YouTube for free. For free, might I add. Now, this comedy club is sponsored by Skalo TV's Discord chat, who decided to write us some amazing jokes in preparation for the evening. We have 4 main sets tonight, okay? 4 guys. So remember, even if the first guy bombs, which he might, which he might, we got 3 more coming on. Starting off tonight, we have Mick Snugs. That'll be our first set. Then we're going to move into a comedy set performed by yours truly, followed up by another Snug set, and lastly, a Bug Catcher Rick Pokemon bug type themed comedy set. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you think it's fun. Battery Eater, what the fuck is your problem, man? What is your problem? I see a lot of new guys in here. Spam Tim specifically. And Bill. Hi, Hodgeworts. Hello, everyone. welcome once again to Skalo's Comedy Club. Who's excited for some comedy, baby? Can we get a round of applause from the audience? It's silence. Silence is deafening. We're already bombing. Already bombing. Everybody, say hello to YouTube and our first comedy set of the night, Mick Snugs. Take it away, sir.
Hey guys, my name's Mick Snugs. There's no way I can do the full comedy set in a dude. They're already booing me. They're already. You guys are already booing. What is this? Ah, come on. See what I have to deal with in here. Anyways, they're all saying get out. Does that mean I get to leave early? If you guys are all saying get out, you don't want me to perform at all? Is that what it means? They're saying yes. Okay. I'm getting some let him cooks. Okay. So somebody seems like they're excited for comedy. And that brings up the first question. Who here likes comedy? Can we get some yeses in the chat? Has been fan says I do. Clayton's wife says no. Getting some more let him cook. Okay. All right. That's cool, guys. Now, this is going to be rough. Come on. You've seen some of the jokes that you guys have written that I have to perform. It's going to be rough. So, not only did you guys put a guy who's never done a stand-up comedy set on stage before, but I'm also bald. You know, they said there were no shortcuts in life. Tell that to my barber. Welcome to the punishment stand-up set for losing a 1v1 earlier in the week, where you guys have written the vast majority of my jokes. And I'd say they loosely resemble English. So, let's get to it. Joke 1. What is green, fuzzy, has 4 legs, and kills you when it falls out of a tree? You guys just can't be just saying bald to me. Come on. Nobody knows. Clayton doesn't even know. Okay. Actually, somebody knows it. It's a pool table. Sorry, Grandma. Moving on. You guys want to see my Sonic impression? This is the cringe you guys voted on that I have to do. And this fucking sucks. This should honestly be a fantasy football punishment, because this shit is cringe, bro. Have you guys ever heard of a mind goblin? Anybody? A mind goblin? Sandpaper, I did not choose to do it. I lost the 1v1 fair and square. Mind goblin leaves nuts, Clayton. Okay, Clayton played along. That's good, that's good. What did the wasabi say to the bee? What's up, bee? You know, this is really fucking awkward for me, because, like, there quite literally is no laughter on my end of things, even though, like...
Monkey Billy super chatted $1.99 and says bald boy, kick him out.
Boys, I'm not even like through the first paragraph of this. Y'all killing me. You can't stop booing me. I am trying to entertain you, and it's not nice. You're hurting my feelings. Swimmer Axel said there's no laughter on our end either, and you know what, I believe you. I'm watching myself do this. I'm listening to myself do this, and I believe you. All right, let's continue. A man walked into a bar. Ouch. That's a real zinger right there. Thanks to whoever wrote that one. What do you guys call a pile of cats? I think this was Clayton. A meowton. Emphasis on a meowton. Any laughs? I don't know. What did the farmer say when he lost his tractor? Dude, 5 people just left the stream after the Beyond one. Where's my tractor? Okay, enough cringe for now. Anybody in the audience have a grandma? Me neither. She died. But I used to love going to her house. And I had some crazy moments there. Probably my most embarrassing story was when I was a kid. My grandma was cooking, and I thought it was a good idea to grab one of the oven racks, you know. That shit was hot. It was a bad idea. And I let out one of the biggest screams of my entire life, permanently scarring my grandma. And that's how we get to the current day. You see, I'm a bit of a gambler, and there's no better place than your grandma's spare bedroom to test your luck. So when I hit the 5-star lottery in Genshin Impact, I immediately let out the same scream as before, which triggered my grandma from all those years ago. She burst through the door and asked what happened. In a pure panic, I did what anybody would do. I wheeled her under a tree. And that is why I'll never play Genshin Impact at my grandma's again. Top 3 worst diseases. 1, dementia. 2, dementia. 3, top 3 worst diseases. A man walks into a bar and asks for a drink. The bartender says, "I'll give you a drink if you tell me a meta joke." The man says, "All right." A guy walks into a bar and asks for a drink. You know what sound is worse than my scream that set off my grandma from earlier? Skibbity toilet! Obama's got the Ohio Giat Riz! God, I fucking hate like that. That's just so fucking ironic. Y'all ever make doodogs? You know, Mountain Dew marinated hot dogs? You know, like these things? Yeah, not gonna lie. These things are great. They just absorb the flavor of the dew. Wait, that's not fucking normal. Yeah, we're just gonna put those away. We'll see them later. We're gonna put them away for now. Anyways, people always tell me don't go and bottle up your emotions. I mean, that's not easy, man. I got a lot on my plate. You guys can relate, right? To having a lot on your plate. I mean, why can't we just microwave our emotions away? Hit the button and boom, evaporate. No. Sometimes life is tough and I have too many emotions. So I just put them in Tupperware. Now they're microwave safe. All right, thank you. You know what else people say? You gotta face your demons. It's the only way to grow. Okay, how about you make some of my hair grow back? That would be great instead of fucking booing me. But you can't. Sometimes stuff doesn't work out how we want, but honestly, I'm down to take on the challenge. So I scheduled a public Zoom call titled Facing My Biggest Demons. Guess who joined? All of you guys. Thanks for being here. Why don't you like my comedy? And more booze. All right, I knew I should have expected that. This is such a great set. Thank you guys. What did the farmer say when he found his tractor?
Where's my... I found my tractor.
Hey, are you free tonight? Because I'm broke as fuck, to be honest. 2 hunters meet. Both are dead. So I found out that Harry Potter actually pulls, because, I mean, you know, his homie Hagrid was telling me that ever since Harry pulled Ginny, the absolute baddie, he got a promotion. Hagrid told him, "You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard." Speaking of, do you guys believe in love at first sight? Or does the wizard Harry need to stop by? All right. That reminds me. Those things would be great. Oh, talking about the doodogs again. That reminds me. Those things would be great in a food fight. You know, the only other food that might be more ridiculous than a slippery wiener hitting somebody in the face might just be a crab. But if you're that hungry, we might as well just box. Yeah, that's a food melee joke. I don't know if anybody gets that out there. Here's another food joke. Why do crabs never share their food? Because they're shellfish. You guys are calling me bald, unfunny unk. You guys realize I write half of the fucking scripts for Bugcatcher, right? Monkey Billy saying he is bald. Why is old Caillou talking? You guys are fucking ruthless, man. Why did the Scarecrow get an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Why couldn't the skeleton go to prom? Why couldn't the skeleton go to prom? You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm not going to tell you why. Moving on. You know, no one in my life gets my practical jokes either. One time during Halloween, I set up the best joke of all time. And I mean, you know how crazy people get with Halloween decorations and pranks. I'm talking like spider webs, giant skeletons, you know, talking scarecrows that just say sus shit, right? We've all seen that stuff. Anyways, there's always that one house that just like has the sign for candy saying only take one. Well, we robbed the joint, and that gave me an idea. Every year past that, I decided I was going to target those candy stealers once and for all, even though I used to be one. I set up my trap. It took me all morning, but I finally got the haunted tree attraction in place. And all I needed was a trick or a treater. I waited in my room patiently. Where are you, dumbass kid? Of course, while playing on my phone. Then it happened. Ah, Grandma! What happened, Sonny? And I did what any other person would do. I wheeled her under that tree. Thank you. Everybody, you guys were all a great crowd, minus the mean people booing me and whatnot. Fortunately for me, that is punishment set 1 done. Bro just said, bro, just give up and oil up. Anyways, I would be followed by Skalo, who is oiled up currently. He's off screen. Here he is.
Hello, everybody. What do we think? What do we think of comedy set number 1? Yeesh, it was tough back there in the manager booth, I'll tell you that. You guys were not a fan of that, but you know what? Any audience is an audience. That's what we have to do. W Comedy. Death Fox, thank you very much. Hard watch. I think some of them were landing. Remember...
Blaine, you wrote half the jokes.
Hey, get off the stage, buddy. Get off the stage, buddy. It's my turn. Remember, you guys wrote some of those jokes, damn it. Now, it's time to perform our comedy set number 2. 1 out of 4 are done, and we're ready to begin. So, chat, are we ready for comedy set 2? Done by yours truly. All publicity is good publicity. That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, boys, let's kick this thing off, okay? So, as you all know, I am a YouTuber and streamer. And if you're going to ask me, does that make me rich? The answer is no. Because I pay a lot in internet fees. A shit ton over here. I got 500 megabytes out in Arizona. It's pretty nice. It's way better than what I had in North Carolina, when they shot up the fucking power grid in order to rob Walmart. Can you believe that? They legitimately thought that as they shoot up the power grid, their buddies could just mosey on over to the Walmart in darkness and rob it. Brother, you can do that in the daylight. They all got arrested. The disappointment was immeasurable. Want to know who else was disappointed? My mother, when I told her that I'm going to be a YouTuber and streamer. So, you just play games live on the internet? Yeah, and I also make videos. I mean, we get millions of views. We created Bug Catcher Rick. It's an awesome series. And people pay you for that? The answer is no. And I have to say no a lot. People always come into my stream calling me Bug Catcher Rick. Hey, Bug Catcher Rick, when's the next episode? How do we feel about Metapod? When is that gonna happen? Can't you guys just ever separate the art from the artist? Do I look hard right now? I'm not, okay? And if you looked, fuck you, you're a weirdo, man. No one looks at the Mona Lisa and is like, man, I love Da Vinci. That's just not the way it works. You can separate the two. I make tons of different content on here. Like this stream, for example. Here. All right, I need to be original. I'm waiting for a cue for McSnuggs, but he's not coming. Snugs, how much longer we got? Like this stream. Let me be original for once. Anyone up for some doodogs? Now we are ready. Who's excited? God, dude.
Look at these things, bro.
Oh my God, what the fuck? You guys know how I brought up Wi-Fi? My neighbor happens to be an old couple, and their Wi-Fi is FBI agent. Very clever, right? They really think that they did something with that. Want to know what I named mine? What are you, an FBI agent? I took a personality test the other day, and it told me I am incredibly hard-headed. Now, an officer's also told me that I shouldn't be staring at 14-year-olds. Little does he know, her atoms are actually 14 billion years old. Science is beautiful, isn't it? Disclaimer, somebody wrote that for me. What do you call a woman with class? A teacher. Here's another burning question. If my sleep paralysis demon is going ham on my shit, is that cheating? His name is James, by the way. He's a cool dude. And speaking of James, anyone out here like Magic the Gathering? Yeah, me neither. I actually hate that shit. I also hate horoscopes. I just really don't understand the appeal. I once dated this girl that was really into them. Like, you'd use a horoscope to determine everything about her life. Turns out I'm a Leo, which is categorized by a desire to lead, perform, such as now, and talk in order to receive praise and respect from others. Leos can also be jealous, passive, possessive, and controlling as their major downsides. She told me we were incompatible because I'm too much of a Leo. To which I responded, we're incompatible because I'm married. Speaking of marriage, that shit is great, man. I mean, you have a partner that you could just do stuff with and enjoy life together. It's like the best roommate you can ask for, especially when you both have your own hobbies and pastimes to keep busy. Mine happens to be YouTube and streaming. So when I asked my wife if I could pursue this full time, the answer is no. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I can't tell if what's a joke and what's a story. Because jokes are often different. Happy life, happy wife, for real. Okay, that was my comedy set number 1. I need to give credit. Thank you to chat for helping me write that and put together a lot of things here. I appreciate it.
Hey!
McSnuggs was fun here. That's one single person who said that. Whimpering, I'll laugh at it. No, you guys are fucking weird. Thank you, everybody. So, that was comedy set number 2. The Doodog was fucking awful. Like, it tastes so much like Baja Blast, actually, and then you bite into it and you get met immediately with that shit.
No.
It definitely wasn't. Which head is hard? Comedian doesn't explain his jokes, all right? They kind of write themselves in a way. So that was fun. Extremely difficult to perform that, honestly. Now, we are on to our third set. I missed both sets. Yeah, see, look. Bro's trying to use that to make himself feel better. Remember, we have one more One more set for Mick Snugs. We're going to call this his redemption arc, okay? I don't want to see any booing this time. You guys booed him off the stage. It was rough. Let him go. And then lastly, I will be performing the Bug Catcher Rick set. So, are we ready, chat, for set number 3? That is Mick Snuggle Wuggles. Here we go.
You know, I thought this would actually potentially be a redemption set. There's still cringe jokes in here. So, buckle up, boys. We're getting back into it. Anyways, I think it's time to redeem myself. Grandma, if you're watching, this one goes out to you. Joke 1. What is green, fuzzy, has 4 legs, and kills you when it falls out of a tree? Yeah. A pool table. I'm reading the wrong set. Let's get back on track. Who here is having fun with comedy night? Anybody having fun with comedy night? Should we do this ever again? No, we are not. Okay, that's great. Anyways, what happened to the Industrial Revolution, right? Am I right? This shit's painful, man. This shit's painful. Reminds me of a time I got punched standing in a line. I couldn't figure out why the baseball kept getting larger. Then it hit me. You can blame Clayton for that one. I know he fucking wrote that one. And actually, he wrote this one too. I'm so good at sleeping that I do it with my eyes closed. Lord help me. Help me. Change all streams to comedy nights. For real, for real. I don't know, man. I don't know. What did the triangle say to the circle? You're pointless. I tried a new food the other weekend. It's called awful. I didn't really like it. It was awful. My girlfriend has a smaller B square than 4AC. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. I doubt it was from this comedy special. Anyways, I'll restart that one. My girlfriend has a smaller B square than 4AC. She's imaginary. So, I have this friend David, right? And we're trying to figure out what to call him now that he has a beer belly. Running in first place is David with a B. Pronounced David. The B is for belly. Emphasis is on the B. And you know what? We love David. And, you know, it really makes you think, why are Americans so fat? I mean, we got more big backs than cases of beer in this country. I mean, nothing wrong with that. They love this country and I do too. Speaking of America, the 4th of July was yesterday, and everyone gets so patriotic having parties and shit. But I saw a post about how we should thank Christopher Columbus for getting us here. And I thought, you know what? That makes no sense. Adam, brother, we can't have you just spamming oil up in here. I'm not... Boys, you get to watch me time him out live. Let me pull this shit up. You guys can't see that shit. Put user in timeout. How long, boys? How long? How long? Our options are 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 24 hours. Chat, you decide. We are in fact, going to nuke him. 5 years, 12 hours, 24 hours. 1 quintillion years, 24 hours. Everybody, 24 hours? 24 hours. All right. For spamming chat, oil up because you're a fucking weirdo. 24 hours. There we go. Goodbye. Band hammer is down. Okay. You never mess with the guy with the mic. You just don't. Let's get back into the comedy, boys. All right. So I saw this post about how we should thank Christopher Columbus for getting us here. And you know what? I thought that makes no sense. Why doesn't everybody talk about a real navigator like Magellan? The dude circumnavigated the globe. Columbus, on the other hand, probably couldn't even circumnavigate David's belly. Actually, Magellan couldn't either. considering he got stabbed 27 times in the Philippines. And let me tell you, the guy who stabbed him, bro, was a badass named Lapu Lapu. Now, Lapu's name means cedarwood. The only American name I can think of that feels like it's the same, in the same realm, is Joey Chestnut. Yeah, the glizzy goat gladiator. So cheers to independence, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed celebrating yesterday with your burgers and hot dogs. Speaking of which, how many dogs do you think Joey Chestnut could throat in a competition? Clayton saying, why are we having a history lesson? I don't know. Skalo wrote one of these jokes for me, and it's a fucking long-winded story that I just continued on. Glizzy oil up. Okay, we got 14. Yeah, so I know they already soak the buns and shit in soda and water while they eat, but you would think like a competitor, you wouldn't think a competitive eater would be fazed by Baja glizzies, right? It's a serious question. Because yesterday, bro ate 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. And you know, I'd ask David how many he could down, but I don't think he's ranked high enough. You wouldn't think bro was a casual eater and that he's in the wrong queue, but when you got guys putting down 70 hot dogs, the only thing that describes that is historic. Which makes me think, if Columbus ran into that dude back then, do you think he would have burned him at the stake once he sees the glizzy disappearing act? And if he did do dog that, do you think it would be correct to say they roasted a weenie? Because at that point, bro would be 5% Baja Blast and I don't know, like 50 fucking percent hot dog. Okay, enough about all of that, except my only other question is, when Joey goes to the bathroom afterwards, do you think he has to lapoo? Or is he just constipated? Thank you, everybody. That is set number 2. That is set number 2. Monkey Billy sent high five for 100 joules. I have no clue what 100 joules is on YouTube. I'm assuming that's like Twitch bits. Thank you, Monkey Billy. And he keeps doing it for multiple people. All right, guys, we're going to have a very, very special set by Bugcatcher Rick coming up next. Everybody in the chat, please say W Monkey Billy for the donos. All right, Bugcatcher Rick, you ready to take it away?
You heard.
Good luck, brother.
Chat, how we doing? How we doing? W Monkey Billy as well. Thank you, homie. I appreciate you. Shout out to you for being a great sport. What's good, boys? We're putting on some Pokemon music because we're getting into the Bugcatcher Rick Pokemon bug type comedy set. Okay, you guys wrote a couple of them. They bang. Is it Rick the Big Catcher? I don't have Metapod with me, but I do have my Weedle that's always in my case. And I think he's molding a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. His nose looks like it's slightly getting some mold growing in there. It's kind of nasty. Bugcatcher Rick, the only funny one here? That's damn right, dude. That is damn right. Boys, it's nice to meet y'all. Rick, this is the first time I think Rick's ever been on camera. I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little nervous for this. So we have some fire Pokemon jokes coming at you. Are you guys ready? Because they're about to go hard. Please, everybody, say hello to YouTube, because I'm sure we're going to make something out of the Bugcatcher Rick comedy set at some way, some faction. Hi, YouTube. Hello. All right, boys, let's kick this motherfucker off. Wait, also, did we like McSnuggs' set? I think we did. I think we did. Give us your OnlyFans. Rick, I would not do that. I would not do that. So, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. Here is our wonderful Bugcatcher Rick comedy set. How are we doing, everybody? I'm Bugcatcher Rick, and it's nice to meet you. It turns out, though, that Professor Oak has gone woke. He gave me a Metapod the other day. His pronouns are he, hard. For a starter Pokemon, he is awfully interesting. He doesn't seem to have any special stat buffs and doesn't get excited to battle that often. I asked Professor Oak about him, and he told me he ran some tests with Mr. Mime of all Pokemon. Metapod just kept running away, so he thinks he's timid by nature. But that doesn't make sense to me, because when he saw Jinx, he was hardy. I can't fucking do this, bro. Speaking of, how hard is Metapod? Well, he doesn't knock on the door. He just comes inside. And you think that's bad? I also caught a bee drill. I wish I could be drilling some women. All right, sorry, that's enough. These jokes aren't really hard hitting. What did the Metapod say to Caterpie? I want to catter and pee on you. Also, hold on. Is that a Joltik in your pocket? Or are you just excited to see me? Now that's the problem with today's Pokemon. I mean, everyone is afraid to just embrace the new. We got a new Pokemon called Slitherwing. That doesn't even bug me at all. I mean, he's half fire type. And the old ones are also bad, you hear? My Weedle is super lazy. This guy right here, he doesn't want to do anything. And you might think that's because he smokes weed. Oh, no. He's off the hyper potion. You chuckled at that one, didn't you? You like jazz? That's a Beedrill movie reference. If we really want to talk about bug Pokemon, just imagine, half of them got lost on the way to the picnic. I went to that picnic with my roommate. It's hard to get him outside and, touch grass nowadays. That guy does not have a job. He doesn't really do anything, unless you consider playing video games as a career. And no, I don't mean that he's a Pokemon player. He plays Team Fortress 2. Jesus Christ. I mean, think about it. Your first bug Pokemon encounter was a Caterpie. You weren't thinking, oh man, that's a champion. You probably thought, why is that guy coming so much? Yes, that is a slingshot joke. You want to know who else has a slingshot? Wurmple. You raise that bastard up, and what does he do? He flips a coin and evolves into Beautifly or a Dustox. You have a 50% chance to get a beautiful woman or a wife beater. Let that sink in. I mean, it's really hard to think of these things. Bug types are seriously confusing. Like, why is there no electric Volkswagen Beetle? Because no one wants to charge a bug. The same way that no one wants the current Kevin Durant. That boy better hustle up. That was an that was an ability joke. Listen up. This joke is super hard. Guy who goes to the diner and orders butter-free toast. Sir, that's just toast. You chuckled at that one, didn't you? Be honest. What does Scyther tell Rick when he is hungry? Scyther. How many bugs does it take to screw in a light bulb? A lot of bugs, I think. What does Beedrill hate more than anything? Think about it. Celebi. Get it? Sells a bee? You chuckled at that one. And lastly, everybody. Lastly, to end off my Bugcatcher Rick comedy set. Have you guys ever been to a coffee shop? You know, the place where they just scream names out so loud that you get shocked when you hear it. I mean, these motherfuckers are just yapping back there. Literally yappers. It's crazy. All just to hand out a 32-ounce, upside down, quadruple shot, half calf, no foam oat milk, lavender cold brew macchiato to a guy named He Hard. Metapod? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, boys. I hope you enjoyed the punishment comedy set for me, as well as the Bugcatcher Rick and Skalo's comedy set. It took us quite a bit of time to actually write out some of these jokes. We hope, whether they cringed, landed, or whatever, that we at least entertained y'all. That was 40 minutes. That was 40 minutes of jokes.
It was 40 minutes. What do we think? What are we ranking? I saw in here that people actually were like, some of these are funny for the the bug catchers. How did you guys feel about the Bug Catcher Rick set? I'm just curious because that one was like, that one was purposely not the worst one, right?
Yeah. That one was like we were trying to actually write some.
Some of them were actually we actually tried to be purposely funny. Yeah, I'm gonna steal the jokes, bro. You can't steal the jokes. I loved all the sets. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you didn't boo us because that would have been rough. Some of the jokes in the stream did get me shuckling.
That's good. I mean, that's good.
That was our plan, man. At the end of the day, this was for entertainment purposes, and
we were just having fun with it, right? But
you didn't see the first one? Ooh, the first one was crazy.
The first one is the most cringe one, I think.
Mick Unk. My favorite jokes, I think, from the whole thing. I like the "I'm married" joke, and I do like the "he hard" pronoun joke. I just think that that's like stupidly funny for no reason. I don't know why. And then when you wrap it up at the end, man. Dearest Egg, thank you for the subscription. Lollipop Gamer as well earlier. Thank you very much. Unk.
Yep.
We got Unk squared up here.
We do.
You're gonna have to go back and watch the VOD. I'm gonna make it into a YouTube video, so don't worry. But definitely, if you want to watch the VOD, because it'll probably take me a little while to get the VOD to get this edited out. But
all right, guys. Do you guys think that we have a potential future in actual stand-up comedy at all, or should we put this in the past, never do it, burn everything? As you're thinking about that, up next, we actually have another stream.
hell no.
It's going to be another stream with Bug Catcher Rick. We're going to be going through the entire series in like a behind-the-scenes sort of way and answering any and all of your questions. So I think this pretty much wraps up the current stream with the Skalo's Comedy Club.
No.
I hope I don't remember this tomorrow, and I'm definitely not watching that video. But you guys should.
Yes, you know you are. Guys, thank you for being on our vertical comedy club. We're going to be doing this. You're better than comics, but that's not saying anything. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, shit, I'll take that. All right, but yeah, guys, for real, we are now about to start the part 3.
Yep.
Ask Me Anything, Bug Catcher Rick, behind the scenes sort of deal. So it'll be unique. If you're interested in that, come on. We're just going to be doing it since we're together for once ever, since we live across the country. And we're going to be exploring a little bit about, you know, the Bug Catcher Rick universe and how we got to where we are. If you have any questions, now's the time, so I don't get 100 Bug Catcher Rick questions in every stream. You can get them out now. You guys can get them all out if you have anything. So
Are we going right into it, or are we...
there'll be a short intermission again.
5-minute break, right?
Yeah, there'll be a quick break because we got to set up. This one takes a lot to set up because we're moving on to a green screen setup, podcast style, right? So give us some grace. It's true. I'm already changed. It's wonderful. So give us about 5-10 minutes, boys. We're going to get everything set up real quick, and I hope I see you there. If not, thanks for being at this part. Welcome to Skalo's Comedy Club. Shout-outs to McSnuggs for
Yay!
McSnuggs. Thank you to the donations and everything that you guys supported on this stream. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry for the cringe, boys, but we're out.
It was worth it. So
It was most certainly not.
yes, it was. Bye, guys.